This video serves as a reference for the installation process of Louisville Ladder's Attic Ladder series. Your situation may vary. Before you begin installing your new attic ladder, you must completely read and understand the installation instructions included with the product. Review the warning page for important tips and do's and don'ts. If you are not confident in your ability to install an attic ladder, please hire a professional. The installation requires 2 people. A hardware kit is included. Be sure to check with the instructions on Table 2 that it is complete. Also, gather all the materials that the installer will need to provide in Table 1. The tools and materials needed are a multi-purpose ladder or a step and leaning ladder, electric drill and 5/32 and 7/16 inch drill bits, 2 Phillips screwdrivers, 2 hex head 7/16 inch wrenches, hacksaw, 4 2.5 inch wood screws, wood shims, 2 1.25 by 32 inch long temporary support boards, a tape measure, a rubber mallet, wire cutters, tin snips, a rope, safety glasses, and gloves. The first step is to prepare the opening. Double check that the rough opening is the correct size for your attic ladder. Make sure all sides are flat and in good condition. Install the plastic bushings by pressing or tapping lightly with a mallet into the pre-drilled holes of the aluminum frame in the positions as shown in Figure 4. Make sure that the plastic bushings are fully inserted and aligned into the holes. Otherwise, the plastic bushings may be damaged during the installation. Next, unfold the 14-inch metal straps. Place a Phillips 3/8 inch screw through the larger bottom 1/4 inch strap hole. Install the straps on the sides of the aluminum frame as shown in Figures 5 and 6. Fold both straps inward over the climbing section as shown in Figure 7 to keep them out of the way. Attach temporary support boards. The ladder must be temporarily supported with 1x4 by 32 inch boards that extend across each end of the opening. For safety and a flush mount in the ceiling opening, the boards must be positioned properly and fastened securely. The first support board, A, goes 3 inches from the inside edge of header A, where the ladder's door hinge will go, and the second board should be mounted 8 inches from the other end. Fasten each support board securely with 2 wood screws, with 1 at each end. Make sure all 4 screws penetrate the frame of the opening, so the support boards are firmly secured. The next step is to prepare the ladder for installation. Do not remove the plastic strap holding the stairs together until the ladder is completely installed and secured, and you are instructed to remove it. The ladder is now ready for installation. Remember that 2 people are required for the installation at all times. And be sure to read the 2 warnings on page 7 before proceeding with this next step, which notes that in the next steps, installer number 2 above will be unable to exit the attic until the installation is complete. Be sure installer number 2 has all the materials and tools needed to complete the tasks to be performed from above. And be sure there is electricity or sufficient battery power for the duration of the installation for lighting and power tools. With 1 person positioned in the attic, the person below will raise the ladder into the rough opening, turning it at an angle to clear the temporary support boards. You can use a rope to help support and lift the ladder into the attic. Position the ladder so it rests securely on the temporary support boards. Make sure the frame on the door hinge end of the ladder is pushed against the header and is centered side to side in the rough opening. Use temporary shims in the rough opening to fill the space between the footer end and the wood frame. Be sure the shims are positioned from the underside and from the top side for uniform spacing. Make sure the attic ladder is resting on the temporary support boards and is not lifted before you continue. Ensure the ladder frame is square by measuring diagonals. Diagonal A1 and A2 must have the same measurement. If not, your attic ladder door may not close properly. Bend the 14-inch metal straps over the adjoining ceiling joists and screw them with wood screws through a 1/4 inch hole in the metal strapping, drilling the screws into the ceiling joists. The footer end of the frame can now be secured. Place shims from above and below at the 2 pre-drilled holes at position 1, indicated in Figure 18. The shims should provide uniform support, so there is no twisting or bowing of the aluminum frame. Using a 5/32" drill bit, drill 3-inch deep pilot holes through the shims and into the ceiling joists. Install one 3-inch lag screw and 1/4 inch by 1 inch washer provided at each location to permanently secure the ladder. The person below can now remove temporary boards A and B from the ceiling. Carefully open the ladder. Do not remove the plastic strap around the folding section or climb on the ladder until instructed. Thread the 36-inch pull cord through a metal washer and the pre-drilled hole in the door and tie a knot at the end of the cord. The length of the cord can be adjusted after the ladder is completely installed. Be sure the knot is large enough to not slip through the hole. Drill 5/32" diameter by 3-inch deep pilot holes into the header through the bushings in the frame. Install the 3-inch lag screws in each location to permanently secure using washers only for the center holes. After the aluminum frame is installed, remove the wood screws from the metal straps. Cut the metal straps to remove any excess. Be careful of sharp edges and remove any hazards. On the ladder sides, use shims from above and below in the rough opening to fill the space between the aluminum frame and the wood joists at the pre-drilled locations. Drill 5/32" diameter by 3-inch deep pilot holes into the ceiling joists through the pre-drilled holes. Install the 2 3-inch lag screws to permanently secure. The next step is to trim the ladder rails and install the adjustable shoes. Remove the plastic strap holding the sections together and carefully unfold the ladder to the ground. You will need to measure the ceiling height before you can determine the cutting locations. The bottom section will typically need to be folded back until the rails are cut to fully open the door and extend the spreader bars into the locked position. Based on the ceiling height, refer to Table 4 on page 15 in the instructions to determine at which pre-marked location the rail and the adjustable foot needs to be cut. Cut the rails and ladder feet, when required, at the appropriate location using a hacksaw. Press down on the middle section to ensure the door is open and the spreader bars are fully extended. Slide the aluminum foot over the ladder rail as shown in Figure 30. Position it so the rubber foot is in contact with the floor. Align with the closest set of pre-drilled holes in the rail. Attach using 2/4 inch bolts and serrated nuts per side. Again, be sure that the spreader bars are fully extended. Trimmed correctly, your ladder should look like Figure 32, page 17. Verify that there are no gaps in the section and both feet are flat on the floor. Trim shims for finishing and to remove catch points and trip hazards. Your attic ladder is now fully installed and ready for use.